Did one joke on Saturday Night Live just unravel Meghan Markle's carefully crafted image? Colin Joss' sly comment about her past isn't just another celebrity jab. It taps into a decades-old rumor involving yachts, deleted posts, and whispers of a calculated rise to fame. What did he say, and why did it hit Meghan so hard? Stay tuned as we dive into the resurfaced photos and the chilling silence that has everyone asking, is there more to Meghan's story than meets the eye? When Colin Jost made that offhand joke on Weekend Update, it might have seemed like just another quick punchline in the endless cycle of celebrity commentary. But this one landed differently, positioned as a commentary on Prince Harry attending King Charles's coronation alone. While Meghan stayed in California, Jost slyly speculated that Meghan might have chosen to stay behind because she had to work on her deal with the yacht people. The delivery was as casual as it was cutting, and for the many who tuned in, it wasn't just the humor that stood out, it was the weight of the rumors behind the remark. SNL isn't exactly known for pulling punches, but this specific jab didn't spark laughter because it was shocking or crude. It did so because it was steeped in plausibility for many who followed Meghan Markle's narrative closely. In the world of comedy, the strongest material often pokes at some shared cultural tension, and Jost's joke did just that. It wasn't just a quip aimed at Meghan, it was a reminder of the elephant in the room for her critics. By making a sly reference to her rumored connections to high-end yacht culture before meeting Prince Harry, he effectively handed the public a mirror to examine how Meghan's meteoric rise has long been interpreted or misunderstood. The wording was sharp. Deal with the yacht people wasn't an accidental choice of phrasing. It hinted at whispers of transactional relationships tied to Meghan's Hollywood days, a narrative that has clung to her public image for years. What made it resonate even more was the distinct lack of overt aggression. The joke became a Rorschach test for audiences. Was Jost exposing a hidden truth, or was he perpetuating a baseless rumor? The ambiguity allowed everyone to take from it what they wanted. For many, the reference felt purposeful, drawing a direct line back to the accusations that Meghan was once part of exclusive circles involving yachts, wealthy men, and carefully managed social climbs. The internet was quick to light up, interpreting Jost's comment through the context of Meghan's public persona. Online forums and social media feeds buzzed with debates. For critics, it felt like validation. For fans, it was a cheap dig based on outdated stereotypes. But no matter where people stood, the joke reignited a conversation that had been simmering for years. A conversation about authenticity, ambition, and the thin line between what we're shown and what's real. Interestingly, this all happened in the same week Meghan made a splashy public appearance at a Beyoncé concert, and just days after posting a heartfelt Mother's Day message. Both moments were carefully polished and perfectly timed, showcasing Meghan in full California royalty mode. But instead of overwhelming the discourse with positivity, these well-crafted broadcasts of her personal life seemed to clash with Jost's commentary. The juxtaposition was too glaring to ignore. On one hand, the glamorous, family-oriented image Meghan has worked so hard to cultivate. On the other, resurfaced whispers of a past that felt much harder to control. And here's where the resurfaced yacht photos begin to cast their shadow over the joke. For years, paparazzi-style photos rumored to show Meghan as part of the yacht circles have been passed around in the darker corners of the internet. The debate over their authenticity, or lack thereof, has been endless. Were they real, doctored, or outright misattributions? Regardless of the truth, the mere existence of these images has been enough to fuel conspiracies. They've represented more than just photographs. They've become symbols of a divide. On one side, we have those who see Meghan as an ambitious underdog who broke free from the more superficial world of Hollywood. On the other, there are those who believe her rise isn't as squeaky clean as it appears. What makes this persist is Meghan's own precision-crafted image. Every public appearance, Instagram post, and press statement seems designed to align Meghan with relatability, independence, and grace. But the rigidity of her branding also invites a form of skepticism. Are we seeing the full picture, or are we seeing a version meant to keep doors closed on parts of her life that can't be wrapped into the brand? Colin Jost's joke exposed a deep tension that many feel about Meghan. It wasn't just the mention of yachts, but what it symbolized. This ongoing question of whether everything lines up between the Meghan we're presented with and the Meghan some suspect she once was. Jost's remark wasn't the cause of all this. It was a spark. The timing amplified its impact, hitting in a moment where Meghan's curated image was already on full display. And as with so many narratives about Meghan, it tapped into something larger. A single punchline seemed to capture the essence of why Meghan continues to divide opinion: the clash between aspiration and authenticity. The resurfaced yacht photos have become one of the most persistent and polarizing topics attached to Meghan Markle. For years, these images have circulated in online spaces, fueling conversations that range from casual curiosity to deeply critical analysis. What makes them particularly explosive isn't just what they supposedly show, but what they've come to represent in the broader narrative around Meghan's rise to prominence. At first glance, they appear to capture a polished, glamorous woman enjoying the elite social scene, but as they've been repeatedly shared and debated, the context around them has grown murkier. The lack of clarity about when these photos were taken, who exactly appears in them, and whether Meghan is even the woman depicted has only intensified the public's fascination. Many who see the images link them to Meghan's pre-royal life, a time when she was working as an actress and navigating the entertainment industry's complex social hierarchies. Some claim these photos were taken during luxury yacht gatherings, events often associated with wealth and exclusivity, but the details remain elusive. The precise locations and dates haven't been verified, and questions linger about the photographer behind the lens. With so little concrete information, the images have become a kind of cultural Rorschach test. For her most enthusiastic critics, they seem to confirm long-standing rumors of an opportunistic past. For her supporters, they're simply baseless fodder for conspiracy theories. The online reaction to the photos has been relentless. Forums and social media platforms burned with speculation as users attempted to piece together the context or craft their own. Some have gone so far as to comb through Meghan's early professional connections, trying to link her to prominent figures who might anchor the narrative they've invented. Others have dissected each image pixel by pixel, claiming to uncover signs of editing or misattribution. This relentless scrutiny speaks to a broader trend: the internet's obsession with uncovering the hidden chapters of a public figure's life. But with Meghan, the stakes feel different, raised by the fact that her post-Harry life was built on values like transparency and compassion. These photos, whether real or not, sit as potential contradictions to that image. At the heart of this fascination is the perception that Meghan's public persona has been carefully and purposefully crafted over time. Since stepping into the global spotlight, she has leaned into the narrative of a self-made individual who rose from modest beginnings to become an actress, a humanitarian, a royal, and now a media powerhouse. Her focus on causes like gender equality and mental health advocacy reinforces her image as a progressive force. But this very precision has also left room for doubt. When someone's image feels this controlled, audiences naturally wonder what's being left out. And for some, the yacht photos have become the missing puzzle piece, the supposed crack in an otherwise flawless narrative. Celebrity culture has long been fascinated by the idea of dual identities, the person seen in interviews and photos versus the one behind the curtain. In Meghan's case, the dichotomy feels heightened because of her marriage into the British royal family, an institution obsessed with presenting a curated, untouchable image. The combination of Hollywood storytelling and royal protocol has created almost a hyper-real version of this narrative tension. Meghan's critics, fueled by the resurfaced photos, argue that the contrast between her past and present are too sharp to ignore. Meanwhile, her defenders are quick to point out how easily a single out-of-context image can spiral into an exaggerated narrative. The silence surrounding these photos has only added to their mystique. Meghan and her team have repeatedly chosen not to address them publicly, and this lack of acknowledgement has fueled the conspiracy mill further. It's a gamble, one that many celebrities take in an effort to keep unverified rumors from gaining additional oxygen. But for someone like Meghan, who is constantly under the microscope, the choice not to comment has had an unintended effect. Without a definitive yes or no, the internet speculates freely, shaping its own truth about whether the photos represent something innocent, like an actress at a social event, or something more calculated. What's worth noting, though, is that the scandal isn't really about the photos themselves. After all, they're just images, still frames plucked out of larger stories no one fully knows. It's what the images symbolize that keeps them relevant. They represent a perceived gap between perception and reality, between the polished, philanthropic public figure Meghan is today, and the ambitious actress many believe she once was. This tension is exactly exactly what drives public interest. People keep returning to these photos, not because of what they reveal outright, but because of the questions they raise. Like many controversies tied to Meghan, the photos highlight the broader challenge of controlling a public narrative in the digital age. They're a reminder that no matter how carefully crafted an image may be, fragments of the past can re-emerge, creating ripple effects that threaten to shake even the most stable reputations. Meghan's ongoing battle with public opinion remains a testament to how difficult it is to move forward when the past refuses to stay in the shadows. This link between perception, reality, and identity will always invite scrutiny. And as we've seen, when those fragments resurface, they don't just challenge her, they challenge the cultural conversation around authenticity itself. She was never meant to have the narrative. Meghan was meant to stand for new beginnings, transformation, strength, and advancement. However, she is now exemplifying the disastrous consequences of trying to control one's public persona. The reason being that she continues to act as if her history never happened, rather than the fact that it did. Everyone has a past, and that's the one thing that most people can't seem to go beyond when it concerns public trust. How about you all take this?